to be a host and to see you here in Novi Sad. Thank you so much because you came here for the third time.
Don't overreact. It's an honor to me. Thanks.
I mean, you're a worldwide TV star, and 24 Kitchen is so popular in the whole world, here in Serbia especially. So I don't know, you probably know already that.
Yes, but it's still kind of hard to believe.
Believe me, in my house that's the way it is.
Yeah.
My mom prepares something. She told, hey, sometimes this is what Rudolph do.
But is your food better now? Is the cooking of your mom changed? Changed by 24 Kitchen? Really?
Really. How do you decided to create channel 24 Kitchen? When everything starts?
Well, it was a Dutch initiative in which I was involved, together, of course, with a few other people, and it came not out of frustration, but out of noticing that a lot of cooking shows are more shows. It's a cooking show, it's more show than cooking. You don't really learn how to cook. More cooking shows are about the entertainment or drama, like To Win a Restaurant, and many chefs that you see are judges, and it's like competitions, and it's maybe fun to watch, and I like some of those programs, but you don't really learn how to cook from A till Z. I mean, with all the steps. And therefore, a few years ago, we decided, well, let's take the initiative and let's see if we could maybe simplify, go back to basics. Step 1, how to chop an onion, how to make tomato sauce, pasta, the simple everyday cooking, without, and this was important for the starters of 24 Kitchen and for me, without too much ego. It's never about the chef. It's the only thing that a good 24 Kitchen chef is a helper, and we want you to be successple.
I will be if I continue to watch. Definitely. And tell me, how many people work in TV?
The 24 Kitchen office has around 40 people, meaning the builders of the website, the technicians, of course the camera crew, sound, the whole technical aspect. We have 3 chefs permanently on the job for prepping, meaning testing recipes. I have 1 day a week where we just have a meeting for new recipes. Some recipes need to be tested, others say, well, we're fine, let's just do it. And so it's a very good team, which is not too big. So we all know each other very well. It's a good spirit. We record 4 shows every day, at least 5 days a week, and that's it.
Yeah, cool. And is that true that lako može svako or not?
Lako može svako. Yeah, it's recorded in the Netherlands. The first, I think, 20 episodes from Nenad. He was together with a producer and a director from Serbia. He visited our studio, and we did 1 episode together. And now I can say it, lako može svako, as if it's normal. But when I first heard that word, I didn't know anything about Serbian language. So when they came in and said, well, you people here watch your show, I was kind of surprised. And then I met Nenad and we did a show together, and I found it very difficult. I had trouble saying lako može svako. We did it over and over and over. It was great fun to have him in our studios.
And did he teach you something? I mean, do you have some Serbian meal that you know to make really, really easily?
Well, I noticed that Nenad does a lot with cabbage, and there are a lot of meaty dishes that normally take a lot of time. He simplifies it, made them faster. A very good paprika sauce that was fantastic with lots of onions, and so he brought a very hearty home-cooked style cuisine along. And the cibapcici, I remember that we're just making them after the show, and it's like a hamburger, but then typical Serbian style, which everybody likes.
Uskoro Easy Meals na srpski način.
Misliš svako može svako? Misliš lako može svako?
A da! Umetnost spremanja zdrave i ukusne hrane. 24 Kitchen. Lako može svako.
My favorite is kajmak.
Really?
Oh yeah. You know what? Before kajmak there was clotted cream to go with muffins and cookies, of course. And now there's kajmak is even better. And it's unfortunate that it's not exported, as I know, but somehow if you come here I can have it more, so it's great to come back for kajmak.
What do you think about Serbian food and anything? Is there anything that you would like maybe to innovate, to change, or?
This is my third visit, which is a longer visit throughout the Balkan, because we started in Zagreb, then we went to Ljubljana, now we're in Novi Sad, tomorrow Belgrade, and then we go to Sofia. So it's many countries, there are similarities, and but my quest just have started to really discover the true Balkan cuisine. I like to write down little notes, find out what's the differences between the country, and I'm eager to work with these recipes in the future, and I'm kind of made up some plans for the near future to work more with the Balkan recipes.
Well, you learn all your life.
Yeah, it's never done, and now I discovered a whole new area which, you know what struck me? Last summer I was in the United States for a pastry event, and I asked so many chefs there, French chefs, Italian chefs, do you know anything about Balkan food? And not too many people know exactly what it's about. So that kind of triggers me to say, all right, there's a story need to be told, and not only here, but more wider. And I kind of got, you know, it's not so difficult to feel at home for me here. Your culture is not that different than the Dutch culture. I mean, we have 4 seasons. We're all very happy and enthusiastic when the sun shines. We like to eat outside on terraces, have a nice drink. As food-wise, we both love our potatoes or pasta or rice with vegetables and meats or fish. I mean, it's all still Europe. So I try to settle in more, but it's going to take a while, I guess.
First impression when you came in Serbia, first time when you came here?
Well, the first time it was very warm. I remember it was in April. I was also invited at the Dutch embassy to make a party. It was at that time for the Queen's birthday. So we celebrate our Queen's birthday in your country, which was kind of funny to do so. And but I never forget when I even was on the airport that there were some people waiting for me and to say hello and thank me for the show. And I was so surprised that there were people who knew who I was and what I did. You know, we just went, but I had no idea the impact 24 Kitchen has made in this country. And that is a proof that people here are genuinely interested in their food culture.
Yeah.
And so many people said, well, like a young generation, they don't want to cook anymore, they want everything fast. Serbia is the example in Europe that people still care for good food and like to spend time in the kitchen. So I'm more than grateful.
What do you like the most here?
The happiness of his people.
That's most important.
Really, I don't know what, I mean, maybe if you smile, people smile back, but there are so many people that are wildly enthusiastic. I feed on the energy of other people. So when you're like everybody saying, welcome, I mean, I really feel welcome.
Yeah.
But the only thing I do is I make food. That's it. Simple.
Some Serbian people maybe teach you some Serbian words. Do you know any?
Oh, yes, of course. Dobar dan, dobrodoće. I don't know too many. Dobar tek. It's just the simple things you remember, right? And the lako može svakog, of course.
Did you get a chance to hear some Serbian music?
Not this.
Something.
No. I was in Slovenia. I did, and in Croatia I did. So I just came in today, and maybe tonight.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know you're music lovers.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
have a chance to hear beautiful music here from here. Tamburica. You hear from Tamburica?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, you will hear. That's beautiful. A short story about your beginnings, how everything starts, and what was the biggest dreams when you were a little boy?
Oh. I grew up in a family with my mom and dad. My mom was like a classic style housewife, meaning she didn't have another job. She was the caretaker for my sister and me and my father. My father was a sailor. He worked on the Holland-America line, so he was often overseas, of course. And after a few years he started to work for Heineken Brewery. But he always stayed a sailor. And what he brought was adventurous stories. As a little boy, when I sat on his knee, we watched television, there was an American series, and then he said, well, there's the Golden Gate Bridge, for example, in San Francisco. Oh, I've been there, and the first time we were there, I tasted this, and I met people in America, or in Africa, and in China. So he had the most adventurous stories, also about captain's dinners, about showpieces made out of carved ice or butter, a mermaid out of butter from 2 meters high on the buffet. So as a young kid I was, I want to live that life, adventurous and creating. And my mom was she really liked to take care of visitors. Everybody was welcome to stay for dinner. So when I was 8 or 9, I remember asking my mom, can I cook for a profession? And can I become a cook? And she said, yes, you just go to culinary school. So I did. I was 12 and I subscribed and I went to a cooking school. And when I was 17, I didn't want to wait any longer and I went to Switzerland to work. And ever since, I worked in a restaurant, many different positions. And I studied during the evenings.
What makes you most proud of when we talk about your career?
The reason why I do what I do, I became a communication cook. Meaning, if you watch me on 24 Kitchen, I can unfortunately not give you the food through your television screen. I can only hope, and I know you cannot smell it, you cannot taste it, so I really hope that you get the enthusiasm and be motivated to make it yourself. So when I'm really proud is that I see on our Facebook site of 24 Kitchen and on our website the pictures of people who make our recipes. And not my recipes, but also from all of my colleagues from the network. And that's a proof that people are inspired. So it works. It apparently works. Yeah. And people go into their kitchen, make foods they never did before. And, you know, I often say I don't need any Michelin stars. My star is an empty plate. Preferably when it's licked clean, like a dog cleans his bowl. Because that's the proof, all right, this was good. It's like a musician. If you have a band playing, when do they play well at the party? the proof is people start dancing. Then you know, right, they have the right music and everybody's having a great time. To me, is if other people start cooking. That makes me proud.
Do you like to dance more in the kitchen or in some club?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
I like to dance everywhere.
You always talk about food, music, and
love.
and
There's three
love
pillars, and you can just
important.
mix them. You can mix them. It's just they are an ideal trio, and one is explained as the other. It's food is love. Love is music. It's just.
And you're a musician also. You play the guitar.
No, but I'm not a musician. But in my school days, I had a guitar, but I had also a you call it a fuzz. So it's a distortion panel in between the guitar and the amplifier. Yes. So if you touch your guitar, you get. It was like a wall of noise. But at that time, I was 14, 15, 16. We made punk rock music. And like the Ramones did, and we tried to copy that sound a little bit. And it was like high school music. So you didn't need to play notes, just a few chords and having fun. And it was more about finding a way to express yourself. And as soon as I finished school, I find the same way of expressing myself through food.
What kind of music usually do you like to listen, beside punk rock and everything?
Very, very different.
Very different.
It all began with the Sex Pistols and Iggy Pop and the Clash when I was 11, 12 years old. And it was not only about the music, but more about the do-it-yourself culture. I liked the Sid Vicious quote. He once said, you just pick up a guitar, you go twang, and you've got music. Well, it's not that simple, but still I like the simplicity of what he said. And it was music that was the punk rock in the early days, in the late 70s, made music more democratic. Because at that time, the bands that were popular, if you bought a ticket, you were far away from the band. There was lots of security and space, and you couldn't reach out to the artists. In punk rock concerts in the beginning were smaller, and most of the time when the band was asked, okay, you need to play, they stepped just out of the audience. In fact, they were part of the audience. Not so long ago I was at a Green Day concert in the Heineken Music Hall in Amsterdam. And then I remember Billy Joe playing guitar and asking, is there anybody else who plays guitar? And he just took somebody from the audience and said, here you are, please go, keep on tone. And then he asked, is there anybody who would like to play bass? Yeah, please come. So the bass guitarist gave him the bass. Then the drums. And then the band, Green Day itself, went in the audience saying, oh, it's nice music. That's what I liked. I mean, that's so very, you're all one. I only wish and hope I do the same with cooking. And music-wise, there's a big difference to me. If I go to a live concert, I'd love to see rock and roll sweat. Really see the artists work, real rock and roll, that they turn themselves inside out, they give it all, they must be empty at the end of the concert, they must be almost drop dead, glunk at the podium, they can't do any more. Sometimes I feel the same after a whole day of cooking.
How do you spend your free time? What do you like the most to do? Do you have some hobby maybe?
I like to go in the forest, I mean just a long hike. That's really lovely. I like to go shopping or do like small city trips for 2 or 3 days. Go to Berlin or Barcelona or London. So I try to plan as many of these short trips as possible. I do like, it's different if in my house, I'd like to throw a real good party and make a nice meal, but I would never serve like a 6-course meal and be a kitchen slave. I like to prepare everything And when my guest comes and friend come in, I put everything on the table, including all the hot dishes, dessert, everything in one big table. And then I sit with my guest until the end. And I really like that. Those are the best evenings.
What's your plans for the future? That's what I'd like to hear.
First of all, we're going to continue making, probably for a long time, Rudolph's Bakery, at least. And there are some plans for traveling, the extended traveling series, like the Taste of Life Travel. But that's all also up to Fox on when it's going to happen. Next to this, as I said in the beginning, I'm kind of eager to find more, to broaden my horizon on Balkan recipes and give it a good thought on what can I contribute to, well, maybe motivate more younger people to be proud of their own recipes, and because it doesn't need to come from afar, it doesn't need to be exotic to be exciting. And I think you have a beautiful culture, particularly if you look to the whole region of Balkan. So there's lots to discover and to maybe rediscover in a modern way.
Are you going to come back in Serbia soon?
Definitely, and there is there's a good chance in Amsterdam. We had a theater cooking show about 2 years ago, which was a cooking show live on stage, so in a concert hall. And there is now the idea of having such a show in theater in Slovenia, in Ljubljana, soon, after the summer. And if we pull off, I mean, that's a nice evening, like people go to a theater show or to a rock show, to come to an evening where it's all about food and cooking. So it will be my show for Balkan, and I would only dream that this show would also happen in Serbia.
Thank you because of this beautiful interview.
Thank you so much.
It was a really big honor to talk with you. And do you have maybe some message for people and for chefs here in Serbia?
Well, what would the message be? Well, you know, if you cook a meal or even a simple salad, it's an expression of not only love but of care. I mean, love in the widest meaning. It's not only romantic love, but to care for environment, for family, for friends. And if you want to do something good for somebody, just make something. Make a cookie, make a small cake and give it to a friend. Maybe a friend that you take for granted, that you don't say, I like you, or I'm happy that you are my friend, because you don't do it. It's not so cool to say. Just bake a cake and give it to them. They will always appreciate it.
That's awesome.
So.
And
like bringing flowers to your mom. When do you say to your mom that you really love her? I mean, it's like, she knows.
She
Tell
knows.
her.
I hug you and kiss you every time when I finish the meal. Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A life that's full. I traveled each and every highway and more, much more than this. I did it my